I'm in mango heaven. Look at this. So this is just up the road from our house. We drove past it on the way to Camarat one day. So we thought we'd come back and have a look, but look at the mangoes. They're just yum. Mangoes everywhere. Lynchies. So we're just going to pick up a few trees, take them back to the farm and just plant some trees today. We just literally left the farm, so but look at the mangoes. Oh, I'm in mango heaven. My goodness. So yeah, we put in this here for Mum. We just had some leftover bottom parts of the fence that we weren't using, so not exactly bloody straight, but no, it'll do. So that's all them rice husks. So we just put some of them in just to give some body to the soil. We'll mix it all in with some buffalo poo or cow poo and all the rest of the stuff, which we've done here, as you can see, and just turn it over. So yeah, but as I was saying, then we had one left here, so we turned that into a seat. So we had one left there. Looks like the builder's just rolled up. Swaddy cup, Ping. Swaddy cup, ma'am. Yeah, so we hung the fence, put the bracket on, just some old steel we had laying around. So I stuck that on, hung the gate. Yeah, so this is all works perfectly. Beautiful, nice and easy, one-handed. Works like a tree. So put this in. So now what I'm doing, I just made a suggestion that we should maybe dig a border about 1 metre for garden beds around and down that side and over to the back there. And before we went out to get some trees, come back, it's all hands onto a bloody shovel or the hose that they use. So they're digging that in. I've managed to get four people and a wife. Serm, he used to do, I think I've shown Serm on here before, but he used to do building once upon a time. I asked him to come, do you want to come and give us a hand to get this rendering done quicker? And he was like, yeah, absolutely. So his wife is mixing mud for the other 4. And we've just got them inside, everyone's working. So hopefully we should have this inside done in 4 days, which will then allow us to get the electrical people in. As I said this morning, it's only 3 days for them to do their work. And then we can get the ceiling people in to start doing the ceilings. And then once they finish the inside rendering, bang, get them outside. Hopefully we get one more team, a team of 7. And if they do roll up, then we'll put them on the outside or put my boys on the outside. I don't care, whatever they want to do, and we'll get that done. We've still got the pump house unfinished. So the pump house just needs to have the block work completed, which is not a great deal. So we've got the block work on this to complete. Here you go, check this out. There's a heap of boys in here all going hard. So everyone's going hard, rendering, getting that wall done. Just gold, mate. So these are my boys here. So that's Serm in the middle. He's a great fella. Like there, that's his lovely wife there. So she's mixed some mud for him. Remember I said the lady had a baby? Well, this is her little bub now. He's got so big. She's getting so much bigger now. So beautiful. Yeah. So as I said, we just got to finish this off. Finish the block work on here. Chase some electrical in, which is not much. So we got that done. I've decided, so I put a few extra power points around, which is always handy to have. So I've got one on every corner now. Exterior power points, and what I've done here is I've asked them to put a 10 amp plug in. So this here is going to be another board for here and for the pump house alone, and then we've got the major one inside, and then we've also got a few extra power points. I'll put some data cabling in on the inside, so we've got data cabling now in there. I put one into my room, lounge room, computer room, just in case I do decide to hang a TV in our room. Then we can just plug it straight in and it's no issues. But everywhere else, we'll just run Wi-Fi. So everyone lives off their bloody telephones these days. So we'll stick that in, and they got my mixer going to work. So finally the mixer's up and running, which is a good thing. I think everyone's happy with that because it mixes the mud very, very quickly. And it's not done by hand. Everyone's not busting their ass doing it. This young fella here. So what up, brah? Okay, mate?
Okay.
Good boy. He was working with us before and then disappeared, and then him and his mum, she's having a baby, and then he's back now. I don't know where the old boy is. He was working for us as well when we were doing the back wall, just giving us a hand. But I tell you what, it is now powering along. It is powering along, and I'm extremely happy because I was very, very worried that we weren't going to be able to. It's not so bad to. Okay, if the house is not finished, okay, I get that, but to be able to touch it, feel if the tiles are level, straight, and you can look at a photo, but you can't physically touch it. So it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just me being a bit pedantic, but that's how I feel. So, but now I reckon we'll go absolutely damn close. We're going to be very, very close. So if we got the tile team coming in, if they got a team of 5, I'm going to hit Ping up and say, Ping, get a team of 10. Let's go. Let's get this done so we can smash it out. And then, the job's done. Rendering day. So I managed to get a few more people to give us a hand to do some rendering because these blocks really do suck the moisture up really quickly. When you put render on, it dries the render out real quick, whereas the blocks, I believe, can float on water, so I worked that out. But yeah, so we started yesterday. I've had one of the boys here, Tun, he's a great lad. He's one of the older boys here, going around, he's dropping all the string lines up, so they drop all these string lines up, and as they're rendering, they square it off. And obviously if you look down here on the floor, you can see these bits of wood, they got nails in them which run up to the top, and they render to that string line. And then obviously they point all the corners, they sort of point all the corners off, and then they run it off from that string lines for the corners. So yes, let me see if I can find you one. I'll give you a bit of an idea of what I mean. It's kind of hard to explain, but yeah, they just pointed off the corners, so none in this one, not yet. Let's go around here, see what's in the front room. I know they did some on the front room yesterday, but they're not doing the doorways just yet, but some of them they have. So if you look at that doorway over hang on. There, you can see the concrete on the edge of it. And they've run a string line off that, and that's what allows them to do this. So this is a window obviously they're going to put in. So they run the string lines for the windows, and then the corner is there, you can see that corner. So they run it up there and they do that. Had a truck roll up this morning and drop some more concrete off. So they dropped 3 pallets of concrete off. So me being a nice guy, I thought, I'll go give my hand unload, you know. I didn't realise these bags are 50 bloody kilo each. So they're actually 50 bloody kilo. And they had a guy and his offsider up there, an elderly lady. And the guy said to me, he said, "Oh, how old are you?" And I said, "Oh, I'm 57, mate, you know." And he sort of laughed. I said, "Why? What's the go?" and he pointed to the lady and said, she's Harsed Gal, which is 59, and she was throwing these bags around like they were weighing about 10 kilo, mate. And I'm just going, what? And sure as shit, mate, these things are bloody heavy, mate. They're 50 kilo. And she was just flicking them around, laying them up, getting ready for me so I could put one on my shoulder and carry it across. And I'll tell you what, after I finished, I was buggered, mate, eh? And then all the family are like, no, me, which means are you tired? And I'm like, no, but... And then I told them the story, and they're all just laughing. I tell you what, these Thai ladies, mate, Thai women, strong as buggery. But yeah, besides that, everything else is going well. All the netting's been put up, so we got all the netting done. It's all ready to be done on the concrete. And a couple of boys in there just rendering the lounge room wall at the moment. I'd like to take you in, but there's just this. How many have we got in here today? We've got 1, 2, 3 on trowels and 2 ladies mixing constantly. So yeah, they just got 3 guys just going flat out. I got this fella here, another 2 fellas in there. So I got 6 today that I brought in myself, plus another 6, I think. So we've got 12 all together. So what I'm trying to do is I've literally got 42 days, 43 days left, and I've got to go back to Oz. And so I'm trying to get as much of the critical work done as humanly possible before I go. So at least I can run my hand over it and check it. As I said before, and you can get a photo sent to you, and you can look at a photo, but it's just a photo. You can't feel it. You can't turn the photo down to see if the floor's level and see if the tiles are all being laid properly. And then you still got to make your instalment payment. So you're making an instalment payment blind, which is quite scary. But we're getting there. I reckon I saw it in the Chung Bert yesterday. I said, how long to do the inside? And he reckons about a week. So that'll be good, and then we'll get them onto these columns and onto the outside, and then we'll get the tilers in to do all the wet areas, get the ceiling guys in, put the ceilings in, and then hopefully we can start the tile work outside. The tile work outside is going to take a bit, but I hit the builder up this morning. I said, listen, if you're thinking of bringing in 1 team, bring in 2. I said, because at the end of the day, it's just going to cut the time in half. And I said, I really would like to be able to get everything done, bar the painting, before I go home. He raised his eyebrows and as if to say, wow. But I have been asking now for 4 months, bring some more chung in for us, please. Bring some more chung in for us, Ping. We need more chung. Even Yui was talking to him. As I said, he's now working wholly and solely from Namnat, so that part of it is a lot less stressy for him. So he seems a lot happier, I'll give you that. He seems a lot happier and a lot less stressed, the poor bugger. But yeah. What else have we done? Oh, we're doing this bloody boundary. I've decided to put just a metre garden bed around the edge of the wall, and we're just going to drop some concrete in it, so when we put grass down, the grass doesn't try and encroach into the garden beds. And I've got something to whippersnapper up against, to give us a bit of a boundary wall, so to speak. Not a boundary wall, but garden bed edge, if you can, I suppose you can say it that way. But we dug this yesterday. We had a bloody storm here yesterday. It was a beauty. But so this is what we're doing. We're just putting all this in. So we just dug this in yesterday, and it goes right down. Where are we? Across the back there. So it comes right up this wall here as well. But absolutely, it didn't piss down, but the wind. My God, the wind was crazy yesterday. It just come out of nowhere, and a bit of thunder, and then bang, it just hit. So we're just putting some form work in the ground. It's going to form it up like this, and then get a truck in and we'll just pour the concrete. And then, depending on how things go, I might get this lawn in before I go. So I might lawn all this in here. Depends on what we can and can't bring from Home Hub for the house, because I know the tiles are coming Tuesday, I think. Ping said. So they'll get delivered. All the tiles, the whole tiles for the whole house will be brought here and delivered. So we'll stick them here. And we've still got truckloads of items down at Home Hub, doors and locks and bloody everything else you can think of. Greetings. So we spoke about yesterday or day before that, I forget what it was now, but we're speaking about insulation in the roof. So the builders come this morning, we're having a bit of a yak. I spoke to him yesterday about, you know, the 4-inch and blah blah blah, because they delivered 2-inch, and he said no, Ray, it's 3-inch. And I said, huh? Anyway, cut a long story short, he's come here this morning. We sat down having a bit of a yak. So here's one for the players or for the Aussies out there. We use 4-inch back home. It's basically standard in the roof. So I found out this morning they've only got 3-inch or 6-inch. There's no 4-inch in SCG or SGC, I think it is, which is a stay cool one or whatever it's called. They're both basically the same. So Tai Watsy do. I jumped on their website this morning and had a bit of a look. Unfortunately, we don't have a Tai Watsy do here. I'd love to have one here. It's like a mini Bunnings, or not a mini Bunnings, it's like a Bunnings back home. But so what I've done was I've upgraded from 3-inch to 6-inch. So we're going to have 6-inch bats in the roof, and it literally costs, what were they this one? I looked on their website, $539 a pack, which is 2.4 square metres, I believe. So the difference between what I've already paid for on this to the upgraded 6-inch was about 20,000 baht. So I thought, for the sake of doubling my installation and thickness for 20,000 baht, it's a no-brainer. So I jumped on board with that this morning and ordered that. The team's grabbed a machine, so they got this bloody thing going now. They never had one before. They were mixing it by hand. So this makes it so bloody smooth. It's incredible. It's really good. It turns out like that. So now I've got 11 people here rendering. I've literally got 40 days from today before it's my last night here. The next day, the 41st day, we're flying back to Bangkok. So I've literally got just under 6 weeks to go. And we've got a lot of work to do. So I was just talking to everybody this morning, the guys that I hired extra to help us out. We've literally got about 3 days left to render inside the house, which is good. They are smashing it out. Now I've got these extra people. I tell you what, the people I hired, they're around my age. Some of them are a couple of years older, and they are just Trojans, mate. They are just incredible. I've never seen these guys work like this before, and now they've asked me, look, Ray, do you want us to stay on to give us a hand to do the outside? And I said, mate, that'd be gold. So I'm going to keep them to give us a hand to do the outside. We got one guy here, Tun. He's a great fella. This fella here. He's actually a legend of a bloke. Very, very quiet. Keeps to himself. Doesn't talk very much. But he's the one that goes around and does all these string lines. I think it was in one of the other videos I filmed the other day or the other week. But they do all these corners, and they do them so. Let's see if I can find one for you. So if you look here, there's actually a string line on that wall there, right there, and that is just like a knife's edge, mate. You just bring it from here, and they run a string line down, and then they run this edge out like that, and that gives them the thickness from the wall back to this, and they render through to there. And they got one on every single doorway. So there's another one there. So and that's what this Toon guy does. He goes around and he puts all these up, and he's in his own world, and he's just so fixated on it. It's amazing to watch him do it, I got on his way the other day, and he just looked at me, and I said, okay, well, out I go, and he just started laughing. But you know, the render's all happening, it's all coming along. This is our bedroom here. So they're getting it all done. They've got that one wall there to do. I don't know why they leave that one wall. I haven't asked the question, but every bedroom that they've done, they've left one wall. So I don't know what the gist is behind that. I'll find out, I suppose, eventually. But it's amazing to watch them render. Like you see here, if I can spin this around again, there we go. So there's a string line here, and there's another string line here. They run along there, just gives them their thickness, I suppose, and their levelness. But you see here, they've done all these walls, but they've left this one. The one closest to the window, this one here, on the other side of this. So, but yeah, everything's going great guns at the moment. But I thought I'd just mention that insulation for people in case you are building and you run into. As I said, I've always been speaking 4-inch. In my last video was, I was thinking about going from 4-inch up to 6-inch. But yeah, apparently they don't do 4-inch, and it's not a custom order either. It's 3 or it's 6. So for the sake of 20,000 baht, do yourselves a favour and upgrade to the 6-inch. It'll keep your house a damn sight cooler. Let's face it, it's a no-brainer. It's $1,000, well, not even that. It's probably about 970 bucks Aussie or 960 bucks Aussie or something, for the sake of doubling the thickness of your insulation. For me, it was a no-brainer. Anyway, I thought I'd just let you know that.